Welcome to the Football Parliament podcast, your one stop destination for all your football debates, discussions, and opinions. Today, we're going to talk about the best team in international football, that is, France national football team. They were the World Cup winners. I am joined by Palash Modi and Chirag Gupta. Chirag, what are your thoughts on France national football team?
Definitely the team to beat. Everyone is considering them as the favorites to win the Euros, and they definitely deserve this thing as well. Obviously, they are playing the game at the highest stature. When you talk about a team, you talk about the depth, and no team has better depth than French football team.
Definitely. Palash, what do you think about this?
I totally agree. If you could draw the odds right now, you remove all these. They're the undisputed favorites due to the sheer depth in squad that they have. I think it's unmatched. If you can actually make a 11 of the players that France have not chosen, if you look at that team, that would probably be better than many teams that are currently in the Euros. They've got sheer depth, they've got individual brilliance, right from the goalkeeper to their defenders, Kante, Pogba, Griezmann. All of these are game changers. So yeah, if they get the big games correct, they get the tactics, they show up when it matters. I don't see any team actually, you could say entering a game with France being the favorites. France enter a game and they are the undisputed favorites, in my opinion.
That's true. And just before we quick kick off to our next topic about France football team, I'll just give you all a statistic which is there on Twitter. In Russia, 3 years ago, France averaged 48% possession in matches. It was the 25th out of the 32 teams for penalty area entries, had the fifth lowest number of crosses, was fifth lowest for total distance covered, and averaged 6 shots on goal per match, the second lowest at the tournament. And yes, they were the winners. Can you imagine this?
Crazy,
Definitely,
crazy.
this talks about the individual brilliance of the players, the
Yeah.
quality each player can bring in at any moment of time. That is it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just look at the French defended compactly, and they used to hit teams on the breakout. So they're really a very, very good team. And talking about the formation of this team, Chirag, what do you think the possible formation could be?
The possible formation has to be the only thing I could say that is debatable, but it will be a 4-4-2 for Deschamps. They have the players to complement this formation. They have a very good midfield that they will try to rule in the central area of the pitch, and definitely Deschamps will go for a 4-4-2 as indicated by him in the pre-season friendlies as well.
Yeah, the 4-4-2
Palash, what about you?
with the 4-4-2 with the diamond with a number 10, which probably would be Antoine Griezmann sitting just behind the striker, a role which really favors him and the team a lot. I don't think they need to make major tactical changes. They've been finalists and then winners of the last two international tournaments. So it's just a slight change of personnel, which you could see. Maybe with Kimpembe coming in the defense, Benzema definitely coming in attack. Rest all, they've got a nailed on, drilled squad, which, like the World Cup, will be one of the favorites to go on to win the Euros.
Yes, and talking about the formation, Chirag and Palash, the question is who will fill in the defense, the full backs, the centre backs, the goalkeepers?
First
Starting
of
with
all,
you,
I
Palash.
Yeah, right. And the
first of all,
goalkeeper is
Alash,
okay.
can you just name the 26 players, or rather, I'll just name the 26 players or the
Okay.
defenders as we are talking about. The defenders in options here are Benjamin Pavard, De Boy from Leon, Varane from Real Madrid, Kimpembe, Lucas Hernandez of Bayern Munich, Lucas Digne of Everton, Longley from Barcelona, and Zuma from Chelsea. So now let's go on to the picking our best four.
Yeah, starting with the goalkeeper, it definitely has to be Hugo Lloris, who is the current number one of the French national team. If you look at the options at centre back, I think the two clear favorites here are Varane and Kimpembe, in my opinion. I don't think the others, Zuma, could fit in there. You could make a case of Luca Hernandez being played at centre back, a position where he has played. But I believe that Kimpembe and Varane should be the starting two centre backs. For the right back position, I'll go for Benjamin Pavard, who's most known for the goal he scored against Argentina. Was it in the World Cup? ended up winning the
Yep.
goal of the tournament. And left back, Chirag, what do you think of the left back?
See, definitely for the left back position, it has to be Lucas Hernandez if he's not put in as the center back, as you mentioned. But
Mhm.
obviously, if Lucas Hernandez is a center back, Lucas Dini is another great option. He has
Yeah,
been a very good player for Everton in the Premier League this year as well. He has been one of the standout players if you talk about left backs or the full backs in general in the Premier League. So definitely, Dini or Lucas Hernandez both can fit in any day.
yeah,
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, Hugo Lloris is a definite starter for France. Maybe the
Viran,
captain of the
I'll
team.
just
Yeah.
No, I'll just stop you. If you're talking about keepers, you cannot forget the Lille keeper, Mike Magnan. Obviously,
yeah.
Loris is getting old, and
Now
Mike
he's
Magnan
at
is a
AC
He's
very
Milan.
good
actually
alternative
AC
to him.
Milan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Now
now
he
he's
is
at AC
a
Milan.
shift to AC Milan. He is replacing one of the best keepers, Donnarumma, at AC Milan, and definitely that's which is going to be very massive for him.
You
Yeah,
know,
I mean,
Obviously,
just look
Loris.
at the depth even at the goalkeeping position now. I mean, Hugo Lloris is
yeah,
there and definitely him. And now going to the centre back position, Presnel Kimpembe probably had his best individual season in League 1. Varane, not the same, but he's definitely the best French centre back they have right now with the experience he carries. And I'll definitely say that Luca Dean deserves to be the starter. I mean, Lucas Hernandez is also very good, but he doesn't really start for Bayern Munich, and Luca Dean has really been impressive with Everton. Now, going to the right back slot, there's definitely
I'll
no competition
Viran,
here, and Benjamin Pavard gets that spot. Yeah.
talking about defenders, one massive thing that happened this year before the Euros was Aymeric Laporte not being in the France squad, and
yeah.
definitely he had to change his nation to play in the Euros. Do you think missing out on
Same.
Laporte is a very big thing because Varane is not in best of his form, but I do not doubt his capabilities. But definitely, if he was to be the third best choice centre back, it would have been more much confidence than a Kurt Zouma or a Lucas Hernandez who have to fill in the spots. It have
I
made a
mean,
difference?
I think it could have because if I don't want this to happen, but if someone like a Varane or who do we say
Kimpembe,
or sorry
Kimpembe.
Kimpembe, yeah, sorry, my bad, Kimpembe. If either of them get an injury, who do you rely on? Kurt Zuma, who's barely featured for Chelsea this season, or someone else at centre back? Lucas Hernandez, who's a natural left back. I don't know. The Euros will clearly talk about this. I mean, I just don't understand why Emerick Laporte was never used by France. Not even a single appearance for France national football team.
Yeah,
Something which I
clearly,
still haven't understood.
Didier Deschamps doesn't rate Amir Report that much. Might be just, a personal view. He is one of the best managers in world football. Nevertheless, we shall move to the midfield, where France do possess a few of the best midfielders in the world. One who is in an extremely good run of form. His name is N'Golo Kante. Also, another player that is mentioned whenever the question of the France national team does come up is Paul Pogba. Which are the midfielders? I think these two are nailed on starters. Which other midfielders should start for the French national team according to you?
see,
Vedant.
other
Chirag, you go
options.
first.
Okay,
Yeah,
Chirag.
other options that they have in here are Rabiot from PSG, Tolisso
Hmm.
from Bayern Munich, and Sissoko from Tottenham. If you talk about these players, according to me, any one of these could be a very good option to start in midfield because the likes of if you go with Rabiot offers you something very different that a Tolisso offers you. And Sissoko has been a very good force for Tottenham. He has been holding their midfields for 2 years now, and definitely he has something special in him to start in this midfield. But according to me, Rabiot makes a start over anyone else.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, if France are sticking with a 4-4-2 diamond, Adrien Rabiot actually works in this system really well. Adrien Rabiot can play at right central midfield along with Paul Pogba on the left, and CDM is obviously no doubt N'Golo Kante. And the cam in this case can be Antoine Griezmann.
Yeah, see, Antoine Griezmann will more be a attacking
Yeah.
player here. He won't be going for a defensive output. And talking about Griezmann, obviously he's not. He did not had a very good start in Barcelona when he joined, but this year many Barcelona fans are very happy with the performance he has put in. He has
Hmm.
been very great for them, and we know when we see Griezmann playing for France, it is a completely different player. His prime game comes
Yeah.
out when he plays with the likes of Giroud, Mbappe in the previous years, and now even Benzema to his support this year. So obviously they have a great talent there. But also talking about the depth in attack, they have Benzema, Giroud, Mbappe, Thuram, Kingsley Coman, Ben Yedder, Griezmann, Thomas Lemar, and Usman Dembele. They are not going for a winger formation, but they have one of
Hmm.
the greatest set of wingers with them right now.
Yeah,
I do not know
that's
if you
true.
want to change formations in between a game, 60th minute you can get in a Dembele, and just imagine if you are playing against a team which is already tired for 60 minutes, having playing a very good game of football against a very good
Hmm.
France football team. You bring in Usman Dembele, who's so quick. You bring in Koeman. That defense will not be able to handle this pressure. You cannot catch up to them
It's
even when you are
true.
starting the game. And going 70th minute into a game, you are not going to catch them any day.
That's true.
I agree with you. And talking about their wingers in specific, I mean, Antoine Griezmann can also play as a winger, and he's definitely in his form of his life. He has 30 goal plus assists just in 2021. That's really good, and he's definitely
30.
turned around. Yeah, 30 goal plus assists all over, not just in La Liga.
Yeah,
30
but
goal
that's
plus
still a crazy
assists.
start.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat. I read this like a Barcelona fan sent that to me. So it's definitely a crazy stat, and you can even use Antoine Griezmann at different positions. I mean, as a winger, as a striker, and even as a cam. And talking about strikers going to
Yeah.
the striker position, we've got Karim Benzema and Kylian Mbappe, extremely, really very good. Probably the best strikers in the world, both of them. They're definitely in form. So I don't see this France team not winning this competition. I've called for them winning this.
Obviously,
But
talking about
the one team that can't stop France is the one team that did stop France last time out, according to me, Portugal. Let's see. Who I must say from yeah.
according to me, and Vedant did a video previously also. I am not at all going with Portugal to even reach the finals. I don't know if they are going to win it or not.
You think Portugal won't make it to the finals?
No,
Well,
they
well,
gave us a big
I'll
shocks
agree
to
with
everyone.
Parash.
is it?
I think
But one
Portugal
thing,
will
my
make the
question to
finals.
Chirag is it just a gut feeling, or you've got any tactical reasons for the same?
No. I'll just put in yesterday also in the Portugal preview as well. I did put in these things. First of
Okay.
all, you are placed in a group of death. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, when you're playing in a group of death, you have to
Yeah.
play every match. You have to play with your best team. You cannot
Hmm.
rely on players. And we have seen a season where players have been very frustrated with the game time they are getting. Not the game time, because every week you have to play at least 2 matches, even 3 matches
Yeah.
in a week. And obviously, now Portugal national team has players such as Ruben Diaz, Bruno Fernandes. They are in their primes. They are being considered as one of the best players all over the world. This also brings a responsibility to these players that they should not put in their ego clashes in the dressing room. And definitely, you cannot clash with a Cristiano Ronaldo that I am the best player in this team. If anything of that sort happens, obviously these things happen closed door, that ego clashes happen between the teams. So definitely, if something is happening, I am going for this just because every Euros has a unique thing in them, and I predict this unique thing in this year could be a surprise that you may say is Portugal not making it through the finals.
Chirag, I
Let's see. Let's
completely
see.
disagree with your opinion. I completely disagree with your opinion. The reasons for the same are ego clashes are things which actually happen in club football. You don't really see them in international football because the players, they're representing their country, and when they're representing their country, they're willing to give their 100% emotionally
Yeah.
and on the pitch. So I don't think stuff like this can actually happen. And Ruben
Maybe,
Diaz and Bruno Fernandes both are very experienced players. I don't think they can
maybe.
lose. Let's
Yeah.
see. It's your gut feeling.
I don't think
No,
this.
talking
This
about
is.
getting back to
I
the
don't think
topic,
this
talking
is
about
something that
French
can be
football.
predicted. Yeah. Talking about French football. We should move to the most important player next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously the most important player. Starting with Vedant. Please, Vedant, don't be biased in this. We should be asking, except Karim Benzema, who is the best player according to you for France football?
So why do you want to make
I
an
was
exception? If he wants to name Benzema, let him name him.
Because he is going to name Karim Benzema. We all know that.
I
It's fine.
wasn't
Let him
even
play.
going to name Karim Benzema. I wasn't even going
Okay.
to name Karim Benzema, my friend. I'm talking about Kylian Mbappe here. In my opinion, he's definitely top five best players in the world right now. He scored 40 plus goals for PSG this season. Definitely the best season he has had so far. So Kylian Mbappe for them is the best player. If you get that man inside the box, you get him the correct pass, apt pass, he'll definitely finish it.
Kalash, your take.
See, Chirag, I would like you to uh, give this opinion first because I'm going to go for a very out of box player. Your MVP first.
See, obviously, according to me, I am not being biased, just mentioning it has to be N'Golo Kante because when you talk about attacking talent, obviously France has so much attacking talent in them that they can manage without any player. If even if Mbappe gets injured, I do not want that to happen. I wish that does not happen. But even if that happens, they have enough attacking talent to compromise that. But if Kante gets injured, how do you manage that sort of thing? You get in a Tolly, so I completely agree. You can get in any player you want, but can you manage the intensity or the game level that he is bringing? And that guy has just won the Champions League, and definitely
Yeah.
it has to be his year. France has to win it, and he has to go for the Ballon d'Or this year.
Well, the player that I think, it's another gut feeling, doesn't have a lot of statistical backing, who's going to be one very unexpected hero for France is Paul Pogba, in my opinion. I think just like Griezmann, Pogba is one player that puts in his best performances wearing the blue of France rather than the red of Manchester. I think Pogba, the fact that he plays in a midfield, which is guarded by one of the best DMs in world football, and Golo Kante gives him a lot of freedom to play the way he actually likes to play. At Manchester United, at times he's forced to play in a pivot with, McTominay slash Fred. At times he's forced to play on the left, on the right. But his most preferred position would be, I wouldn't say exactly box to box. I wouldn't say exactly cam, but something in between, something of an advanced eight. And I think Pogba really shines in such a position. He, as I said, is guarded by N'Golo Kante and another midfielder who could take a bit more of a defensive approach. You could have Musa Sissoko, who's played at CDM. You could have someone like Tolisso, who's played at CDM as well, or the reserve side of. So yeah, Paul Pogba is one player that I will be backing to go on to be one of the shining players for France in the tournament.
That's
I'll just
true.
ask you guys, as we know, Mbappe is a very good player this season. Many of them, many people are even rating him for the Golden Boot. Do you eye him? Do you see him rather getting the Golden Boot this year?
Who?
You're top golden
Kylian
boot or
Mbappe.
golden ball?
I,
Anything,
I think
Golden Boot, Golden Ball, anything
Golden
you feel.
Boot, yeah, both of them are separate tournaments. The player that I
Yeah.
actually do think will win the Golden Boot award from the entire tournament is Romelu Lukaku. I really think that Lukaku has a good shout for this award. If for France, Benzema is a good contender. Uh, See if
I don't
France
actually
do.
think Karim Benzema can win the Golden Boot for France this season, this time, because first of all, if you've looked at France versus Wales, you've clearly seen that Karim Benzema was involved more in the link-up play, more
Yeah.
inside, the off-ball movement, not much in the attack as of yet. What I saw against Wales, I don't know.
It
I may be
wasn't.
wrong. If Benzema
No,
wins it,
no.
I'm happy.
You're totally correct because this is the system that France have been playing since a few years now, and this is actually the reason why one Giroud gets selected by Didier Deschamps, despite competition from, you could say, Lacazette, Martial, many centre forwards. Secondly, he doesn't score a lot of goals. People argue that he went the entire 2018 tournament without scoring a single goal, but the exact role that Vedant did mention now was how Giroud did play. That's also the reason why Benzema is also good as a target when he has got those link up abilities, those hold up abilities, or the frame that's required for a good target man. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see Karim Benzema play in that new role. They don't need to change a lot tactically, definitely not.
Chirag,
So I think we should end up with the conversation of where you think France football team will finish. What do you think? Obviously, it has to be a one answer only. But Palash, going with it, do you see any surprise, or it is going? Are you going with the trade?
No, as I've mentioned in my predictions, I believe that there will be a replay of 2016's final between Portugal and France, with Portugal coming on top. So, according to me, France will be the losing finalists.
I have also called for a Portugal
Siddhant.
versus France finals, and I feel France will win it this time.
Me and with Tanish, we don't know how did we reach that stage that we did not have Portugal in our finals, in our predictions. But obviously, according to me, it is going to be France who will lift the trophy this year.
Let's see in 10 days' time. With that, we shall end today's podcast. Thank you if you are listening till the end. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Breaker, Apple Podcast, Anchor, other such platforms. You all can reach to us if you have any video suggestions, queries to our Instagram handles, which is goes by the same name of Parliament. So yes, for more top quality football content, keep listening to the Football Parliament podcast. Thank you.